balance expectation and reality. Good morning. This is Equa Television, and you are on today's live. And on the show today, that is the topic that we are going to be discussing. And the house is fully ready so that we will see how we will create balance from the two. Even if you are walking and you don't have balance, be rest assured that you are not far away from falling. So please join us. The conversation start and it's always interesting when you join us and tell us your own angle. So follow us on your on our social media handle, the Facebook, and then the YouTube, so that we'll just do this discussion today, and it's going to be interesting. I assure you, because I have Jemima, I have Joyce Takada, and I have Prudence on the side.
Interesting.
Morning.
Yes.
This one is beyond the norms.
See,
I don't want to talk more than this. This is just beyond the norms. So good to have you.
how are we doing?
Good.
You girls are looking so beautiful, so
You
thick.
know, we're in a new generation now.
Hallelujah.
Fine girls
The
favor
one.
Jesus.
I love that. I love that.
Let me leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So balancing expectation from reality.
Let me just give this clear example. Back then, when we were in secondary school, we're in SS3 and we're just sitting as clique of friends, and then we're looking at life, we're looking at the wider world, and everybody was just saying, so we're finishing school, and okay, this year we're done with secondary school. By next year, we're in university, and then in 4 years' time, we're done with university. The 5th year, we are serving, and then after service, you're getting married. And everybody just sum all the gist up and say, at 22, I'll be married. At 23, I'll have my first child. And by 24, I'm working. My husband, I'm driving this car, I'm driving that car. At this age, we will have built our own houses. And, and we are so excited about how the wider world is. And we couldn't wait to just get out of this secondary school. We look at ourselves at the upbunk every day. We keep reminding ourselves, we'll soon be in the wider world. Look how beautiful the picture is. After after this, the whole graduation, the whole merriment, and the signing out, see how we're dashing our uniforms. How dare you, I can't use this again now, so we dashed it all out. The picture was all rosy. We didn't factor some things into it. And then we're out of secondary school. Now we're waiting the admission, and the list came out. Behold, the names are not on the list. I should start with the result from the WAEC. And the result came out. And then when we passed the JAM, we went for the post-UME. We actually even traveled out of our states to go and write, because we applied university outside the state. And we had already pictured how we stay together, how life was going to be all rosy. And then WAEC result came out, and then a core subject was missing. Reality.com.
Wow.
And then there's no way you get admission without a core course. And that was how we had to register again. And then out of the 6 of us that traveled out of just to go and write, it was just one person that got the admission. So the 5, reality is setting in. That start thinking of registering again. You register, another core course is absent. Like that. Reality. So generally expectation stems from hopes. I'm hoping that I'm going to have these, I desire to have these. It's expectations stem from hopes and desires. But you see, realities are those factors, those things you didn't factor will happen. These are realities. It just happened. Circumstances, unforeseen circumstances. We didn't, when we were talking about the wider world back then in secondary school, we didn't factor that, there's possibility of failing a core subject. There's possibility that you can apply and have all the subjects and not get the admission. Because probably they just need 1,000 students and over 20,000 applied. So definitely some will not get. The competition is going to be high. we didn't factor that in. But eventually, reality showed up, and those unforeseen circumstances are the reality. So, but today you see how that a lot of people are broken. You see a lot of people throw the towel. A lot of people taking their lives. A lot of people living depressed. Why? Because they didn't factor the unforeseen circumstances. And it is life. Remember, we say that on this set, that life happens. Life does not even care about you. It doesn't even care about how you feel when it throws certain things at you. It is you that will still factor what to do to keep moving. Otherwise, if you want to remain down, life will pass you and keep moving. So basically, for me, when you say expectations, I see it stemming from desires and hopes. And when you talk about reality, it is shaped by circumstances. It's also shaped by unfair or unforeseen factors. Things you didn't expect will show up, and then you see it. So basically, I think this is will I say the layman, just an understanding of what the expectations are and then the reality. But a lot of things happen, and that's why we're saying balancing. So how do I balance but there's this question, and I know if we answer this, it's going to help a lot of people out there. When I have expectation, should I also expect reality? Can expectations be reality? Because for some people, there are people that, yes, they expected that this is how their life is going to be, and they found it all rosy like that. Because somebody's saying, why me? Why, when you are saying why me, is because you see another person that didn't have those realities showing up. Like you started together. I've heard people say, this person is my classmate too. And when they are saying this person is my classmate, they are looking at, we started together. He's now at a higher position, and look at where I am. And then as the person is telling you that he's angry, he's bitter, he's feeling life is unfair, he's feeling God did not even consider him. The person is feeling that, oh, God has not been fair to me. So you have to understand that life happens. As you have expectation, know that reality can show up. So, and when it comes, that's why the Bible says we are not unaware of the devices of the devil. Why? Because we already know, we were told, based on our relationship with God, we have seen how he has showed up in different places at different times. So you should not be unaware of realities, even if you have expectations. So is it bad to have expectations? No. It's not bad for you to hope. It's not bad for you to have desires. But know that reality can show up.
I like where she's coming from. Really interesting. And most of the times when you have expectations, it tends to be on the positive. However, I'm going to come from a different angle here. There are times where people have expectations that are always, or rather almost always, on the negative side. So you're expecting that instead of you to be dreaming like she pointed out, from secondary school you're already dreaming this would happen, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. No. In this kind of scenario, this time around, the person is thinking, what if I finish school and I still don't get the funds to go to the university? What if I don't even pass my WAEC and NECO? And that's what fuels this person's thoughts. So the person relaxes about everything and does nothing, next to nothing, because he's already giving up. Okay, this will probably be what will happen. So why put that much effort into making it not that way when at the end of the day I'll still come and lose it or something like that. So there are a number of people that are fueled by that kind of thought as well. I think there was a point in my life that I always kept on thinking, regardless, I'll still fail now. What's the point? And then I'll just fold up my hands, and I hate this subject, or this course, so why would I even stress myself? I'll still fail whether I read or not. And I fold my arms and do nothing about it. And then reality shows up, and yes, I failed because I did not do anything to alter that thought. So that's your expectations in the negative. So this is what expectation does to you. Expectation is like two sides of a coin. It could either push you to forge ahead and do something good with your life, or it could be the reason why you're folding your arms and doing nothing. two ways it does that. If you're expecting that you're going to be successful in life, you would be putting in effort to reach that success. If you're expecting that you're not going to amount to anything in life, you're not going to amount to anything because you're not putting effort. Next, if you're expecting that you're going to be awesome in life, you're going to make it in life, and reality decides to show you basketballs. For example, what she just said, you've already factored, you're going to do this in the span of 10 years, you're done with everything you want to do, you're just going to relax about life and chill and cool. Then jam decides to jam you, as we say here in this part of the country. Jam decides to jam you, Waek decides to do you, Waek. And you're not seeing that this your 10-year plan is going to work, then you give up. That's two ways that expectations can deal with you. So why we are talking about expectations, managing and balancing expectations and reality, is so that you will not get to that point where you're expecting all the good things and then reality decides to show you otherwise. Yes, so that you, when you get to that point, you are able to push through the wall and see what is on the next side. And that's majorly why we're talking about this today. And if we are able to, when you get to that wall, you're able to push through it, then you have given one side of reality back. Like, I'm
A
trying
knock.
to yes, you have knocked off one side of reality. Thank you very much. And then the next side of reality begins to show up, because reality continues to show up in phases. So you would not get to a point where you are utterly discouraged and totally what's the word, totally blindsided. No, you would always have hope and reason to forge ahead and continue. And that's you're able to balance both expectation and reality. You know that you're expecting this, you have expectations, you've lined them up and all that, but you also have the room for the possibility of things not working exactly the way you've planned it. Yeah.
You know, expectations hurt a lot. While growing up, I always had, don't expect, because when you do and it doesn't come, it hurts. When she was citing the example of secondary school, I was just like,
Yeah, just
it's
relate.
like she just pulled out my heart and then she was saying it out, because that was exactly what we did. And you know what? It didn't just stop at secondary school. It went to university. So the fact that our expectations were not met in secondary school still made us to put a new set of expectation for university. You know, we had a lot in our minds. Plus, you go there with this, I will not fail. I know it's just this number of time I'll be there and I'll come out. And then we had a lot. We planned service, we planned where we wanted to go, we planned a lot of things, and then boom, we were done with secondary school. Result came out blank. You know, like, where is this coming from? When you know that you're not someone that is unserious, you are quite serious, you attend your lectures, you do your assignment, you do everything, and you're so sure that this is how the end result will be. Then result came out blank, and then it's like your whole world is crashing down. So you have to now keep waiting. It's not a carryover, it's not a spillover, it's nothing. It's just blank.
there.
You have to now start investigating, and all of these investigations took years. So you'll be like, so what happened? So it goes a long way to show that in our expectation, we don't even plan for any negative thing that would come our way. We don't even want to accept any negative thing. If anybody wants to say, what if this thing you're saying will not happen, you're trying to, like, back to sender. You're trying to rebuke that person because you feel he wants to be a stumbling block in your life. It goes a long way to show that you should not even have a certain degree of expectation, because whether you have that or not, reality would always come in. whether you have expectations or you do not have expectation, reality would always come in. That is why a lot of people would get married and immediately they want a child, and then for a few years a child will not come, and there is nothing good about life for them again. You know why? Because they were expecting a child immediately. Probably your reason why you were expecting a child is to show off. Probably there's something you want to do, and then your own friend that got married later after you, boom, has a twins. Hey, you feel like nothing else should happen to you. Any other thing that is good would not happen to you. But then balancing expectation and reality is that even when things do not go your way, you should not give up. Balancing it means even when this one doesn't happen, you should be hopeful that another thing would happen. And even this one that did not happen, they said delay doesn't mean denial. So that it is not happening at the time you envisaged for yourself doesn't mean it will not come. When we finish secondary school and we counted the years we'll be done and have children, get married, get jobs, that it didn't come that time doesn't mean we're not done with the secondary school and we're not done with the university. We are done with it. We're no more in secondary school, we're no more in the university. But it just did not happen at the appointed time that a human being set for himself. Whenever you are setting up expectations, you should know that reality would always come in. Whenever you're setting up expectations, you should know that you're not the owner of your life. Someone owns you. And that person has the perfect blueprint for your life. You are just trying to see that you are working in accordance to what you are hoping for. But then you should always know that anything can happen. What if you set expectations and you don't even make it alive to meet those expectations? We don't even count death into our own plan. We're counting in 2 years time I will do this, in 5 years time I will do that, in 20 years time I should be there. What if you don't even make it for 1 year?
Exactly the point I was about to make.
True.
One of the expectations is that people believe that as a family we grow together, we live together, we just die together. And that's one of the painful the expectation that people get caught up with. Like a child at 2, 3. We've even seen newborn babies that they just lost their mother. Some grew up without even knowing who their mother is or who their father is. And then you have people too that grew up even to being young adults, and then eventually they lose either parent or both parents or a sibling, and it's like the world is against you. It's like life has turned upside down. It's like I cannot do this again. Like I'm broken. I can't continue this journey. Like that's the expectation, is not to lose any of their family member. You hear people say that, like, it's not like I'm wishing, but my mother cannot go anywhere, my father cannot go anywhere, like we have to do life together. But without picturing that, see, in the entire seasons of life, there's always a time to live and a time to die. This is one that nobody seems to get familiar with or used to. Like it's always new. You can't even explain to somebody based on your own experience, because everybody has experience with his own loved one. So it's one expectation that I've seen break a lot of people out there. Like a family member just goes, or if parents just die, and then you're just feeling like the world is all against you. But you see, it is important that we balance expectation and reality. There are some that you see, yes, they lose a loved one, but it's not like they are not broken. It's not like they are not pained about the separation, but they expected that life can happen. This can happen based on their belief. Sometimes we talk about how that some people are very strong, but some people are soft. That certain things like, I can't bear this. But you cannot continue your journey here on earth like that. Because if life does not care about you, you cannot be saying, I can't take this, I can't take that. When it is time, it is the season, or if it's the time for that person to go, he goes. But since I don't have control, that's one thing with reality. You don't have control over it. It shows up. So when it shows up, what do I do? Should I just see that the world is against me? In fact, there are people that have negative expectations, like you said. Okay, I know I will not pass this exam. I will not even get this admission. So let me relax and just enjoy my life. And then they get the admission, but not prepared. And then the school fees is saying you have to pay 200,000, 253, 500, 700,000. You're not ready for it, and you are running helter skelter and all of that. So, but it's important that our expectations are being managed. What are the expectations that you are having? What expectation? What are the goals that you set for yourself? Some of us, our expectations are high, very high expectations
Really
that
high.
are not visible. Like,
Unrealistic.
how would you be saying, as I'm seated here, I'm saying I know by the end of next year I'll be a doctor? How?
Wow.
How? So some of the expectations are even unrealistic. And then we said that we start a year, we're just in the second month of the year, and then a lot of people, when you check all these their resolutions and their goals, they are unrealistic. Like, just mere looking at it, it's not like you are cursing the person, but it's not possible. So we set expectations or goals that are unrealistic. Why not set goals that you know you can achieve? This one is not thinking big. Because somebody will tell you, I'm thinking big. If you tell him set goals that you know are achievable, they will tell you he's being shallow-minded. And when reality is done at them, they are now feeling like, oh, life is against me. In your
So
setting,
if you say life is against you, it's not being shallow-minded. I'm just asking.
maybe
Because if setting goals that are unrealistic is being shallow-minded,
It's
and
thinking
then when
big.
you are
Thinking
hit,
big.
it's thinking big. Oh, you are thinking big. So, and you that is thinking, can you just make it realistic? And then you that is talking that you are shallow-minded, and then when you are hit with the reality, and then you are broken down, you feel like life is against you, and then you don't want anybody to talk to you. You withdraw yourself from people. So what will you call that? You understand?
What's interesting?
The-
You're the one who is against yourself.
yeah, sometimes what we say life is against us. It's you that is against
you that
yourself.
is against
You don't have any goals. There's no plan. Like, when you have a purpose, there should be plan. You
Yeah,
should have
because-
strategies to help you achieve those plans. So sometimes what we do in the name of expectations or goal setting is we being against ourselves, not even life. Because how can you be in school, for example, and then you're not studying? Somebody made a book that took somebody 3 years to write, and you're being taught that or explain that book in 3 months. You're supposed to answer in 1 hour, and then you never made attempt. You think that reading it in one night is what will make you pass. It's not possible. So it's you being against yourself. In most cases, it is us being against ourselves and not life or reality. You hear people tell you it's not by hard work. It's not of he that what they quote scriptures for you. It is the person that God shows mercy to, so they fold their arms and do nothing and expect that reality favors them. So sometimes it's we against ourselves. I was conversing with a woman that was saying, oh, I want to do this contribution, I'm in this, I'm in that, I'm in this, I'm in that. How much are you earning? Nothing less. Like, it's compared to all the things you soaked your hand into. You can't afford it. At the end of the day, the first contribution you're paying, you're borrowing to put. Second contribution you're borrowing to put. What's the essence of doing that?
Wow.
So just imagine what people do to themselves. What's the essence of the contribution generally? That out of this that I have, I want to save a little, so that
Support
my
this.
spending can be guided. At the end of the day, in my raining days or dry days, I know that I have saved something. But out of nothing, because somebody is doing this, you too, you want to do. And then we keep stretching ourselves to where we cannot. Imagine borrowing to put contribution. Are you not saving for the other person that you're borrowing from? So sometimes our calculation, our expectations are just unrealistic. It's like we don't sit down and set goals and look at how things, having strategies to achieve this. We just follow trends. We follow, what is this person doing, let me also jump into it. Then when reality shows up, you are angry with everybody around you, when in the real sense of the whole matter, it is you being against yourself. They used to say cut your coat according to your size, but now people tell you your size might be bigger than the material you have, so cut it according to the material that you have. I've heard people say I can't eat food without meat. And there are people that will tell you, I can't go outside my budget. What I can afford, that's what I can eat. So, but another person is saying, me, I can't eat food, and he can't afford the meat. So what will he do? I will borrow. God forbid that I eat food without this. So people put their hands in things that they cannot afford, and they keep blaming life. Where is the life? Where did you sit down with life and converse? So sometimes you have to be deliberate. Your expectations, the desires that you're having, the hopes that you're having, are they attainable? Are they like, it's not fake it till it becomes real. You will suffer yourself. Somebody say to be even irresponsible now, it costs a lot.
Of course.
You can't sit down and say the person was saying, say tattoo that we should pay 5,000 to draw. They are now saying we should pay 100,000. Hair that they used to buy 40,000 on top of the pain that they will still feel.
To draw who? On top of the pain, to draw who? Like for instance, me now, I'll draw your face now.
Do you understand? Hair that they used to buy 40,000 that they are now buying 250,000.
Then tomorrow she's saying she's not doing.
Do you understand? So to be irresponsible, fake life is stressful. So there's nothing like fake it until it becomes real. What you desire, what you hope for, are they things that are within your reach? Are there things that you know you can actually work toward achieving? I cannot say by the end of this year I must have 10 million in my account. I don't have a job. I don't have any skill. I'm not giving out any service, but I'm saying 10 million must be in my account by December. Hey.
Just be smart. Just one hit. You will get that 100 million in your account.
It's delusion.
Yeah, it is.
No, they'll tell you don't have faith in God now.
Yeah.
and that's what I wanted to say. A lot of times we have set expectations so much that it has become a delusion, that you're just living in delusion. And because you're living in delusion, you can't even appreciate the little good things that you have in life. So when that thing that you're expecting is not there, you're not seeing the smallest thing. You're not seeing the good health that you have. You're not seeing that you are eating 3 square meals. You're not seeing that. You're only seeing that this thing that I put my focus on, it did not come true. So you're just broken. And because you've already put your mind in that kind of situation, you're not able to go past that. You become caged in it because you cannot even break free. It's the thing about the mind is that the wall that you build around your mind keeps you prison. It's funny because your mind, someone says anything that you can dream of, you can get it. Truly, honest truth. If you can dream of it, you can get it, so long as you've put your heart to work. You've pictured it in your mind, but you've put your heart to work. So you're going to get it because you put your heart to work. But if you envision it and you're not putting your heart to work,
just for you, for instance,
you're doing nothing.
It's just for you to ask an architect to draw a house for you, beautiful, like with everything that you vision, and then you carry, you pick the drawing, and you go and drop it on the land.
And expect it to appear.
Like it will just grow like
buy land, you have to do foundation, you have to
let's imagine that you even have the land, that farmland in the village. Then I will carry the drawing and go and drop it there. You understand, because you have to work. And you see the thing is that you see the devil is crafty. So there's a way it even uses strategy to deceive us. Like just that quote that you said, whatever you can dream of, whatever you can picture in your mind, you can get it. Where is the place of hard work that they are removing in that statement? Where is the place of hard work? Put hard work there. But you say once you just vision it, you will get it. And then people pick it like that and they start running. And that's why you see, I wanted to ask this question. Can someone have expectation without plan?
A lot of
people can do that.
Most of the expectations that people have, that at the end of the day, like, I'm not saying all, but most times the expectations that were not backed with plans or strategies. Some have the plans, but they didn't work on it. Like, I'm saying that I want to buy a car, and then I don't have a job. I don't have any business I'm doing. There's no service I'm offering. And I want this. I want life to be beautiful, to be all rosy. But at the moment, I'm not working towards having that life.
You are sleeping all day.
Do you understand?
Yes.
And the Bible says poverty will set in. So you can't escape that. So in fact, when you talk to almost everybody out there, people have desires and hopes of what they want and where they want to be. But go further to ask, what are your plans? You start hearing like, what do you really mean by the plans? Well, at the moment, I don't have any plans, but I'm looking at, I'm getting a job. What have you done to get the job? You've not applied for a job anywhere. Okay, I think I'm thinking, since I'm good at this, I'll be offering this service. So what are your strategies towards doing this? There's nothing on ground. And that's why all these expectations at the end of the day are unmet. So far beyond having expectation, we're talking about balancing it with reality. Because whether we like it or not, life shows or reality shows. You plan to do life with your family, but at the end of the day, your husband, I've heard young widows say, this is not the plan. This is not the plan. Because they planned with their partners that this is how we're going to do life, have 3 children, build a house, do this, send our children to this, and you left me. So this is not the plan. You hear children saying, my dad left me, my mom left me, oh, my brother left me. Like, this is not the plan. But it happened. You see people working and they are not happy. How can I be working for 5 years and I'm still in one place? No promotion, no salary increment. This is not the plan. Because in the person's plan is that as I work in this place, okay, in the next 2-3 years, I would professionally, I'll grow. I'll grow professionally. My skills are going to be sharpened. I should be at this place. I should be at this level. My salary should have increased to this level. But this is where you find yourself. You've been in one position, no promotion, no salary increment. That is reality showing up to you.
This reality, Joyce. So it means there are some that we brought upon. We normally.
Yes.
Depending on the path you chose.
Yeah,
and the one that life generally
throws at you.
Yeah,
yes. Okay, for example, death. You don't have any, like, it is not you that planned that. For instance, a family member that you've lost,
crying, that widow.
Do you understand? A family member that you've lost is not something you plan. But let's take, for example, you expected that as a student you graduate with A's, and then there was no effort. You are given tests or assignments, you don't write. Exams, you don't show up. Even if you show up, you have nothing to write than, lecturer, please pity me. It's my grandmother in the village that is paying my school fees. The reality that will show of you failing, you brought it upon yourself. Because if you had studied.
Sorry, Joyce. I couldn't just help it. I watched something that you talk about school. I think those guys are right. It's just a skit. I just watched it. They're writing the exam or test. I don't know. So the guy at the front. So I think he picked the number he wants to answer. And when he started, I think he just changed his mind. He canceled. He picked another one. He canceled. He picked the third one. He was writing. He just changed his mind and he canceled. The one behind he just slapped.
Because he's copying.
He's copying. As he's cancelling yes, he's cancelling.
Another reality that happens to people that they don't plan. For example, the country we found ourselves. There are workers that have been working right now as we speak for 5 months, 6 months, 9 months. They've not been paid. They are pensioners that cannot remember the last time that they got their pension. And this is reality. This is life happening to them.
One magazine program. A woman, she's retired, but she said she's the where she work, they are owing her 32 months salary, and then the deduction that they do for pension contribution, they are not remitting. Do you get? And then when she get there to access her pension, she now discovered, that's when she discovered that all the deduction, they were not remitting. And then they are owing her 32 months of her salary. And she's retired.
In her expectation, it's possible that she had her plans that money, if she was paid, she was going to use it to start up a business, to send the child maybe to school outside of the country, to build house, to do this and that. But look at the reality that showed up. What happened? There are people that killed themselves because they could not access this fund. There are people that went depressed because they've been stagnant from like career wise or business wise, like they have been depressed. They are doing the job but they are not happy because they have been they are stagnated. So you see, these are some realities that we did not factor in our expectations. But how do you balance this now? Because a lot of people out there had a lot of expectations. I didn't expect I'll finish school and then I won't have any job. But go out there and see people on the streets. They will tell you they finished university or they finished their NYSC scheme 5 years, 6 years, 7, 10 years ago, and then there's no job. They have applied, they have made effort to see that, oh, they have even built skill, built this, they have done that, and still they don't have. This is not the expectation. Some will say, at this age, I hoped that I would be married, I will have my house, I will do this, but all these are not in place. Why reality showed up. So how do I balance? How do I balance these expectations and reality? First, you should know that you desire or you hope for something. Reality is shaped by unforeseen circumstances. Unforeseen factors can show up. It is not you. While you're planning, you finish school in 4 years. It is beyond you to determine whether there should be strike or not. But it can happen. When COVID happened,
how it will last.
Yeah, when COVID happened, we didn't even know. Nobody expected anything. But it shut down, like almost the whole world was at the standstill.
Yes.
But what did people do? And this will be my response as well to adapting. Some people started working remotely because of this distance thing, stay indoor, lockdown and all of that. People started looking for alternative ways. That's adapting. You don't have to just think that life has to just stop. No, this is the end of my life because certain things I expected to happen didn't happen. You have to start adjusting. You have to adapt. So, and these are the things that a lot of people I see out there doing. You have to adjust your expectation. Maybe I expected I'll be able to do this, but I couldn't do it. Okay, can I break it down? Okay, if I expected that after my university I'm going to get a job, but I didn't get, can I learn a skill and then can I start up my own business? I've seen a lot of graduates, like what they are doing now, what they study is as far as night and day. But because since I tried getting a job in this area, I didn't get. Okay, I think my hands is good at this. Oh, I think I have interest in this. I know a doctor that currently is a makeup artist, and she's finding fulfillment in that. I know a barrister also that is into the hair business and makeup as well. So she's passionate about this, and then she's making it. I know one that graduated from one of the science courses. She traveled to different states looking for a job. She didn't get. At the end of the day, see, teach me how you make this hair. She learned it. And she also went to one makeup school. She learned it. Now she's working one of the biggest cosmetic company in Nigeria. And that's where she's finding fulfillment. So you have to adjust your expectation. If it doesn't happen, it don't streamline it like it has to be this way. If it doesn't happen, look at possible ways that like you can still grow and do better. So you have to learn how to adjust it and then staying adaptable. Some people are very static, like you're not ready to change. You're not ready to be flexible. If it's not this accounting, I'm not doing anything. But the accountant, if it's not hospital, I'm not doing this. You keep applying for medicine and you keep getting physics education and you say, God forbid I become a teacher. So you see how that you are not. If it's not medicine, I'm not doing it. If it's not this, you're not flexible. You are just static. Like it has to be this way. So you need to be adaptable. You need to adjust in your expectation. It is very important. It's going to help you. And then finding fulfillment in the journey is also good. Sometimes the things that happen to us, we didn't plan it, but it happened. Try to find fulfillment even at that. Don't be bitter. I've seen, and I know people that work, they are doing the work, but they are not happy because this is not what they expected. So still find fulfillment. What is God trying to teach me in all of this? Try and learn through the process. This might just be some lessons for you to help prepare for where God is taking you to. And I think it's going to help in balancing expectation and reality.
You asked a question earlier on. You said, can you decide your reality? Right?
Yes.
Yes, you can. Prostitute. they decide their reality.
Mm.
Right?
Mm.
Like, I decide that I want to be a prostitute. Forget about certain things that happened to me and prompted me into being a prostitute. Probably my family are depending on me to be bringing money and all of that. You decided, no matter what the situation is. I decided to be a prostitute, and I bought the garment of the prostitution and everything that is required. I went and stood on the road and did that. I am dictating my reality. Because what is the end for prostitution? Is there any good end for it? Is it that you die of an ailment or one thing or the other? Armed robbery thieves, they decide their reality. You decide that this is what you want to do. You go and buy the gun. You go for meetings. You decide which operation you want to do. So you can actually decide your reality. But you know the good part of it? You can turn around. When you are driving on a road and you want to go back to the next lane, you look for a roundabout or a U-turn, right?
Yes.
And then before you know it, you're on the other lane. You can turn around. If you decided out of ignorance or out of one negative thing or the other, you can still turn around. Yes.
Anger or desperation. You know, so
You
some
can
like
turn-
she said, some people are just bitter
Yes.
because of certain things in life.
And
you
a
know.
lot of people, they decide to do these things because they are trying to imitate somebody.
Mm.
They are trying to copy someone. Why will I want to copy a negative thing? If there's anything you want to imitate to do well, it should be something positive. But then, even if you decide a negative reality, you can turn around. There are a lot of people that have done prostitution before, and today they are doing well in different other things, and they are not even ashamed. They come out and say, I was once a thief, I was once a prostitute, I did this, and today they are doing differently. They are doing excellently well. So that you were a terrible person before doesn't mean you cannot change that reality and become well. So even if your expectations were bad, they were terrible, you can still turn around and you have a good ending. It is not in the starting, it is in the finishing.
Very true. A lot of times that's one thing that we don't do in managing expectations. You're not putting into consideration that what I'm doing, is it going to be good or bad? You're not putting that into consideration. Then there's also this, that when you have your expectation, but your expectation are fueled by what Joyce is doing or how Joyce is doing. So if Joyce is going on a 100 meter per second speed, and you're going on a 50
or 30
or 30, you feel
kilometer per hour.
that was okay. You're doing that, and you're still looking at Joyce and like, no, I should have been where Joyce is right now. Brother, sister, you're not doing no effort. You're not even, your expectation is based on somebody, so you're not going to head nowhere. Yeah, so as much as we are making expectations, you're having expectations, it is one key thing to understand that all roads are not the same. Everybody's road is probably different. Everybody's pace is different. Your time is different. Your timeline is different. Everything about you is different because you're a different person. You're a unique person on its own. So you can't expect that just because life is going on this way with Jemima, it has to go on the same way with Prudence. No. So, as you're making your expectations or you're putting your expectations so that it will be balanced with reality, just know that you are your own person. So, whatever is happening with any other person's life is not going to automatically happen to yours because you decided to tread the same path.
I think one simple example that we should adopt that it will help us. I think people should just go out there and then look at how people are. Like, Joyce is fair, I'm black. Prudence is tall, I'm short. Like, that alone will just settle you, and then you will know that even when you go out there, you look at it, you will see that people's age are different. Like, some people are 80, some people are 50, and some people are you're the same. Yes, and then some are toddlers. You know, so once we adopt that, it will help us. That shows that even your fingers that you use, they are not equal. Yes, but there's this argument that say, why can't you choose to be the tallest one? But in that finger thing example, if you look at it very well, you have each one has its own responsibility.
Exactly.
There are a lot of
Yes,
morals
so-
to that illustration. Like I remember back then in secondary school, I was well guided by that illustration. I remember that going to school every day, but my mom would say, you always have that session of teaching before you resume school, and she would say, remember that all fingers are not equal. In her own illustration is to guide you where you're coming from,
Yes,
to tell you that you are not coming from the same house as this person or the same house from that person, so that this person is living this kind of life does not mean I must, because we are classmates, but I should remember all the teachings that I got. I should remember how my own roof is leaking and all, but on another side of that illustration is how people justify their laziness, and then how people are satisfied
That's
with
the kind
their
of person
comfort
I am.
zone, and they just tell you that after all fingers are not equal. So but the question, like you rightly asked, so why must you be the shortest? Why can't you be the longest if it's not equal? Because the person that is at the longest finger level didn't just sleep and wake up and found his or herself there. Truth be told, efforts were put in place. There was hard work as well. We know that certain people are deliberate about their life. When you see how they live, the things they do, you can tell that this person is deliberate. Another person is deciding, I want a soft life. I cannot get involved in. How can I go and spend 5 years in school? I cannot do that. The best thing I'll do, I'll sleep during the day. Evening time, I'll take my bath, wear whatever I want to wear, go and stand on the street. It's just for a car to pass. I say good evening.
With
Blink
less
some
effort.
kind of eyes, throw some kind of hairs, and I'm being picked. 1 hour, I'm paid. I come back home. I sleep the next day. The same. That's the kind of life.
But even in that kind of business, you have to put in effort, because you have to wear the right attires. You have to keep up with the skincare products.
yeah.
You have to
Customer one.
exactly.
The person that is working hard, like
Moreover, you're not working under the sun,
But
so it's soft.
that alone too is hard work in a negative way. We boarded a cab with some people, so I entered. That my canoe journey, for that recording. So I came back late. So from Faringada, I was lucky. We got the car, me and one guy, so he picked us. So the guy dropped before me. So after he dropped, then we picked some ladies, 3 of them. So when they were about to enter, there's a way they look at the car, and they said west of mine. So they look at the car. So the guy quickly on the light. So they were skeptical. So they now entered. It was around 11, after 11 in the night. So they entered. So when they entered, then the guy said, "Are you people scared?" Then they say, this country nowadays, what do you mean? So we should not be scared. He said, "Are you people new?" He put it direct to them. He said, "Are you people new in this?" Then they said, "What do you mean?" So he now kept quiet. So when I was about dropping, so he came out to help me with the boot so that I will pack my cameras and stuff. So he now said, "These people are new. So you know that you can be this scared and you endanger your life." That's the point I want to make. And you endanger your life this night. If you can come out this night, then that means there is no car that you'll be skeptical of entering. That means you made up your mind. So I feel the reason why I asked that question, because sometimes we can be deliberate. We will set our own expectations, and then some will work on them, but life would give us something different. But the important thing is that if you are careful enough to know, to study, and then know that yes, you have a purpose in life, what you are thinking may not just be the exact thing that God wants you to come and do. That is why sometimes you find out some of us are frustrated, because you set an expectations and goals that is not aligning with God's plans and the reason why you are being created. So by you pursuing them, You will see that you are going, you are pushing, you are seeing it's working. But in the journey, you are frustrated because that's not your calling. That's not what God wants you. Can you just sit down and think and ask yourself, why am I created? What is God's plans concerning me? What did God want me to come and do, to come and achieve? Like you said, possibly to someone that read medicine and he's feeling that is where he will go and then do his service and then serve humanity. And then God is saying no, because there's somebody that I want you to meet, but it's just through makeup that you will meet the person. So this is the line that I want. So realizing it quickly, the person will quickly switch to that, and before you know it, he will be like, oh, so this is the reason. So sometimes it is very important for us to understand why we are here. Yes, you will set goal and you'll be like, yes, I want to build mansion, I want to do it. And then God is saying, no, sir, you will finish this school. Yes. You want it. Yes. You push. Yes. But you are going for mission work in one village that there is no network. And you find some people realizing that and then moving quickly and they are happy. And you'll be like, you have this qualification and you are in that bush. No. You hear people telling them, you are not supposed to be there. Hello. Is that your calling?
Drama. Do you know what happened during that drama? It was like these graduates, and then after their university, they were doing Thanksgiving, and then they did the drama, and then this other person, how everybody was celebrating. I graduated first class after checking result. Oh, 2-1. Oh, it's 2-2. Then this lady entered. She was really crying, and then what happened? All the rest came around her. What happened? I just graduated with a third class, and they were like, wow. And she said, nobody will employ me. The only thing I can become right now is a missionary. I say, so this is your standard of becoming a missionary is when you fail.
She should come and check. She should come and check EMS. If she
about this mission work, that
see, Joyce, what I want to say, she should come and check EMS with that third class. I'm not sure if she will be given a job.
It's not. That's not the standard of
that's
being
it.
a
That's
missionary.
it.
And as much as you belittle some kinds of work or some kinds of studies, we belittle them, we look at them, we laugh at them, but sometimes that's the track that your life is supposed to take. See, for instance, Jonah was living his life, enjoying his life. God decided to send him to Nineveh, and he said, no, I'm not going to go. So he decided to follow and go to Tarsus. Maybe if he goes, God will decide that that's not what he wants him to do anymore and change his mind.
God will forget.
Probably what he was thinking.
Or look for another person.
Then he got into the boat. First of all, before he even got the boat, I want to believe that it was a struggle, because God will not just fold his arms and wait for you. Like, okay, so this is what you want to do. No, he struggled to get the boat. Then he got on the boat. Then God decides, okay, this your journey is never going to be smooth, and everybody struggled, suffered along with him. That's another thing we always forget. When you make certain decisions based on certain form of expectations, like earlier mentioned by Joyce, you make other people suffer alongside you.
Of course.
So you have to be conscious about that as well. So he got to the point that in the middle of the ocean, and he decides to confess that this is what he did. Then he got swallowed by a fish. Very interesting journey that Jonah had. But the bottom line of what I'm trying to say is that every step of the way, God was watching Jonah and leading him to where he wanted him to be,
Without him knowing.
without him accepting.
Without him.
He didn't even know.
Without him accepting.
He thought he ran, so he didn't even know. You can't say what you don't know. He didn't know.
I think he just decided to think that God was blind. And a lot of us are doing the same thing. So you make your part, you decide that this is what you want to do, and you're not putting the God factor into it. We're talking about reality.com. I'm using that word intentionally. Reality.com is very interesting, because most times reality.com is God factored. So you have to, especially as a believer, as we are, as I am a believer that I am, I have to surround all my expectations around God. Not that you surround, like every expectation you're doing, it has to be around God. So you know that if I'm expecting that this is how my life is going to pan out, just to know that God has His own plan. If His plan is not going alongside it, and for certain reasons He decides to redirect you, be open minded to the redirection and appreciate the journey as you're going along. Because if you're not even appreciative of the journey and all the goods that you're getting, all the positive you get, the bad you're getting, what you're learning along the way, the good health you're getting, the food you're getting, the house you're having, all these things, if you're not appreciative of these smallest things, when expectation crumbles, you will not even see those things anymore. They just become rubbish.
You know,
True.
Victor
We have-
Berger on social media.
Okay.
I've been trying to network though, but
Okay.
then Victor Berger says, "Good morning,
Morning.
good, loving people, love the show. We have lots of likes and love
Thank you.
there, and then I think we appreciate that. We appreciate that.
Mm.
But more important is for people to know that God has called us to live for Him, and the scripture says, just like the psalmist, rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. The Bible says in every situation we find ourselves, we should give thanks to God. He's not unaware of all the things that have happened or is happening to you now, but He's still saying rejoice, and He's still giving instruction that to give thanks to Him. So why live depressed? Why live disappointed? Why live bitter? Why live sad? Why live angry? Now, you see, one thing about expectation and reality is the fact that if you are unaware of these things, your life journey will be stagnated. Like, you're going to live sad. There are times that you walk, like I had this experience working with people, and then I just feel, Kai, I'll just leave this place. There's no point just walking around this place. But you see, that's me not factoring reality, because people will always be people. So that is you factoring reality in it. So when it happens, what do? You adapt. You embrace the uncertainties that are actually showing up. And then when your expectations are becoming vague, you have to narrow it down. Set realistic goals. That way you balance life. So in everything, I think the encouragement is for people to live happy, appreciate God's gift of life, and just be so confident in Him that His plan for you are for good and not for evil. So as you journey, as life throws deaths at you, just trust and hold on to God. He will surely see you through.
In balancing expectations with reality, God should come first, even before your expectation.
True.
And after the expectation, He should still come. So by doing that, you accept whatever He gives to you, because you know that God gives good gifts to His children. He gives you the best by giving you what you did not ask for, and by giving you more than you asked for, and not even allowing you to have what you have asked for. He is putting you safe from something bigger that would have endangered you. We should constantly be willing to trust in Him. He knows the best, because He alone knows the end from the beginning.
Thank you, Prudence. Thank you,
Thank you.
Jemiwa,
Thank
for doing
you.
this with me today. And viewer, we sincerely appreciate you for spending time with us, and for your comments, your likes. We sincerely appreciate that. Keep them coming. Thank you so much. It makes it interesting when we know that we're doing this show together. And this is the much that we can take for today. Hoping that we will see you tomorrow, same station and same time. Thank you so much, and God bless you.